Pumpkin came to me, said goodbye, and Yoda, the Boda, Poo Poo Pie, my black cat, said goodbye a year ago because it got so bad one night. And I did too. I was surprised I made it through the damn night. The salt poisoning almost killed me, man. Coming out, right? I mean, and you know which way it comes out. Yeah, and that's what I've been doing for about a year. I've been pooping and screaming and cramping, and pooping and screaming and cramping, and going, oh man. Because you know what? It didn't get any better. It wasn't like easier ever. It got worse, but it never got any better. And I mean, you know, a couple of weeks ago it started like lightening up, and I could move out of my bed a little bit, do things. And here I am, because you know what? As soon as I quit cramping and screaming, I could walk around. The doctors, these guys are baffled by this shit. They don't understand it, right? That's what they tell you. And they're sticking to it. You know, when I told when I told the guy that I was getting that medicine from, the buprenorphine, about how our body works, he laughed. He invited me to one of his psychiatry sessions, with a group session, you know, where they pick on some guy, some person for a while, and then pick on somebody else for a while, and try to make everybody, you know, blame everybody else for their problems, because it wasn't me, man. The devil made me do it, or some goddamn thing. And if you pray hard enough, you might get better. And you know what? When they tell you that, that's about the best advice you can get from them. Because they only have a year of chemistry, most doctors. Year of undergraduate chemistry. The kind with no math. Because math is hard. Because we're taught fractions instead of decimals. I don't actually use fractions, right? I dropped out of high school, and pretty much one of the last classes I took was an algebra class in which they asked me to multiply fractions. And I sat there and thought about that. I ran away from home shortly after my birthday in February. And so when I got back, about like 6 months later, and I didn't like get back, I didn't come back, I was dragged back. And, I was sitting in class taking the final exam, and I hadn't been there the whole time. Most of the time, because I'd been off and running, doing things. Working with the draft resistance in Boston, having fun. Selling joints on the Boston Common, and you know, trying to make a difference. Trying to make a difference. Because I lived in a time of change, and people were calling and saying, no, we don't want to go. And there were some people like me who said, hell no, we don't want to go. And I still don't. I still don't. Yeah. and because I don't think they're on our side, folks. I'm sorry. Um, there's a word for it. It's called eugenics. Richard Mudhouse Nixon, remember him? The war on drugs is his legacy to us, friends and neighbors. That evil little man that went over there and dropped bombs on people in the Hmong people in Vietnam, who know how to make this stuff, by the way. AUPT and AUPD. And I learned a bunch of stuff from them, just watching some of the videos they put up. And they're pretty smart people, man. And the people up in the highlands grow cannabis and papaver somniferum, not because they're getting high, you guys, but because that's what they eat. And they weren't getting high and shooting dope, man. They were eating the seeds, kind of like I'm telling you to. And you know, I don't know if you guys, any of you guys, are old enough to know or remember those pictures of the Highland guys, but they all look like they're about 900 years old, and the reason for that is because they are. Because we don't have to die before we're 100. We can live for a long time. We don't have to look like we're 900 either. They happen to look like they're 900 because they're living out in the woods trying to hide from people who want to come take their stuff. But like a lot of people who had stuff that they were more than happy to share with other people, they don't like being told, hey, your stuff's really cool. I think that must be my stuff. And that's what happens to them, man, all the fucking time, because they make really cool stuff. And it's because they live up in the mountains, you guys. And in the last 100,000 years, we've had